Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. This is part of our Countdown to Christmas series, festive art every Sunday to celebrate the seasons. Grab your coloring pencils and let's get creative together. Today's drawing is extra cozy and fun. We'll be drawing a silly turkey wearing a turkey-shaped hat, so let's jump in. This is what you'll need for today's drawing. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have a dollar store drawing pad here. It's 8.5 by 11 inches. You'll need a pencil and an eraser. And I have an old paintbrush that I use to dust off my page. It's a lot of fun to use that. Today we're using coloring pencils and we have some really nice warm fall colors. We have yellow, dark yellow. We have a dark orange, we have a nice bright red, and we have two brown colors, sort of a medium brown, and this is a reddish brown here. We also have a black Sharpie, and I have my fine-tipped black marker for outlining. So why don't I clear my page, and we can start drawing our silly turkey, who's going to be wearing a turkey hat today. All right, so why don't we start? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the turkey. So we're going to draw a circle for his head. And then we're going to draw another circle for his body. He kind of looks like a snowman. And now we'll draw his hat. Oh, that was my dog. She just complained about something. Now the hat, we're going to draw what looks like maybe a little hot dog, like that. And we're going to erase everything inside that part of the hat. And I've got my fancy little eraser here. There we go. That's erased. And if you erase lines that you didn't mean to, you just have to go back and put them in. Okay, so now we're going to do the top of the hat, which is going to go like this. And we're going to erase that line inside. Okay. Now what we'll do is we're going to add some turkey feathers. Watch what I do. There's a turkey feather here. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. I might make this one a little thinner. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make that one just a little bit thinner because I don't like how thick that is. Now you can make them as thin or as thick as you want, but I prefer it to be like that. All right, and we can give him some little feet. And we're going to outline all of this stuff. So what I'm going to do now in the hat, I'm going to put a big rectangle to make a little sort of a buckle, and then a line across here and a line across here for the hat band. Now we're going to draw the face of the turkey. Okay, we'll start with the beak, kind of a round triangle shape, and then another round triangle shape. That's his beak. And we'll give him some eyes with the pupils like this. Okay, and we'll give him a waddle. Just do squiggly, 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 squiggly. Now the waddle is that if you look at a turkey, you always see that sort of what people call the turkey neck. It's that sort of squiggly red part of the turkey. It's called a waddle. I like saying that, waddle. So now because he's wearing a turkey hat, we have to do the same thing up here, but we're going to make it smaller. So let's start with the beak, sort of a round triangle and then a round triangle. We'll give him some round eyes. The ovals, not the ovals, the pupils, and a little waddle, 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 like that. And we'll give him 3 feathers on top. Okay, so our silly turkey is in a turkey hat. And that is our sketch of our turkey. So now what I'm going to do is take my black fine liner and I'm going to outline everything I've done. Now I am going to be erasing my pencil marks, so I don't mind if I don't follow the pencil marks because I'll be erasing them. So as you can see, I'm not really following them. But if you want to follow your pencil marks, go ahead. If you choose not to erase them, you'll probably want to follow them just to make sure that they don't show too much. But like I said, I'm erasing mine, so I don't mind if I don't really follow it. Just going to get everything outlined nicely. I'm an outliner, that's for sure. I love outlining my drawings. Waddle, waddle, waddle. I like saying that word. I'll make his feet a little longer. And now feathers, and I am going to make them a little thinner as I go. So you see, I'm not really following my original sketch. And it looks funny right now, but once I erase my pencil marks, it's going to look a little better. There we go. So that's all outlined. Now I always say, if you're going to erase, make sure your marker is dry, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and erase all of my pencil marks, and you're going to see it's going to look a lot better because it looks funny right now with all the pencil marks and everything, but that's what I like about starting off with pencil and then outlining with marker, because you can change things along the way. You know, I've changed up the way the feathers look after looking at them and realizing they might be a little too thick. That's what you can do. And, you know, you can erase and start all over and make the drawing the way you like it. I'm just here to guide you and to give you tips and to give you ideas about things that you could draw. All right, so we're erasing all of our pencil marks here. Did I forget any? Let's take a look. I think I'm good. Oh, there's a little one down here and a little one here. There we go. Whoops. Now we can start adding some color. I'm going to start with red, I think, because the feathers on top of the turkey hat, we're going to color in red. And it's kind of a very bright orangey red that I chose because I want it to look really nice with the yellows and the browns and the oranges. These are all nice warm colors. So I'm going to color that in a second time, and that's what we call adding a second layer of color. Okay, so you don't have to press down hard when you have coloring pencils, because the more layers you put on, the more your color pops. So instead of pushing down really hard and trying to get a deep color the first time, just keep adding more layers. That way you won't break your pencil and you won't tire your hand out. Now the wattles are both red as well. So let's color in those wattles. So that's one layer, and I'm going to do 2 layers. Make that red pop. Same thing here. When you're using coloring pencils, turn your pencil as you're going. Try to do that as often as you can remember. That way you're not going to break the tip because you're not going to wear it down all on one side. And you'll have to sharpen less. It'll last longer. So I'm just adding a second layer. I'm coloring it in a second time. There we go. Now let's take our yellow color and we'll color in the beaks and that buckle. Okay? Oh, one of my dogs just woke up. And I'll add a second layer right away as my tip breaks. There we go. And the buckle, just around that square. We're not going to color in that square. Just around the square. And a second layer to brighten up that yellow. And the beak of the turkey. And a second layer as I turn my pencil. There we go. Next up, let's start with the feathers. I'm going to use these 2 colors. This is the dark yellow and the dark orange. So watch what I'm going to do here. This one, this one, this one, and this one are going to be dark yellow. This one, this one, this one, and this one are going to be dark orange. Okay? So I'm going to start by coloring in a first layer with a gentle touch, turning my pencil, and I'm not pressing down hard. Okay? And you guys can do the same thing. And if you don't have the same colors as I do, that's okay. Just choose whatever colors you think is going to look nice. They can all be the same color, you know. So I'm going to add 1 layer at a time. Then I'll come back and do the second layers, okay? Just don't forget to turn your pencil. There we go. If you see me doing this, that means I'm turning my pencil. All right. I love that he's wearing a turkey hat. I wanted this silly little turkey to wear a hat today, and I thought, well, what kind of hat should he wear? Like, well, why not a turkey hat? He is a turkey. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and color in these feathers a second time, adding a second layer of that dark yellow color as I turn my pencil. You can see the difference between 1 layer and 2 layers. It really does make a difference. Adding layers always makes the colors more vibrant and bright. Like bright if it's yellow, and if it's black or brown, it makes it darker. It just intensifies the color, which is really, really nice when you look at it. And you don't have to press down hard to get that effect. You just keep adding layers. Just trying not to go outside my lines here. But if it happens, it happens. No biggie. We're just having fun. And we're going to relax as we're drawing. There we go. Now I'll do the other 4 feathers with that darker orange color. And I'll do the same thing. I'll add the first layer. Then I'll come back and add a second layer of color. I have to be careful around that hat. Although I think the hat's going to be brown, so brown is darker than orange. So if I get a little in there, it's no big deal. But I'm going to try because I want to pay attention to detail. Oh, I went outside the line there. That's okay. And don't forget to turn your pencil once in a while. I really like the colors I chose for these feathers. They look really nice next to each other. Alright, so why don't I go ahead and do a second layer. I'll add a second layer of color of this nice dark orange. I think I might have to stop and sharpen. I'm going to see. You know, when we use a lot of color, the pencil gets dull. And I find it easier to get into the corners with a sharper pencil. But I think we're doing okay here. Let's see if I can get around these corners. There we go. Okay. Last little feather here. Then we can start coloring in our turkey and the rest of the hat. There we go. Okay, so the feathers are done. Now what we're going to do is take, let's see, we've got those 2 brown colors. One of them is sort of a reddish brown. It's called terracotta, and this one is a lighter brown. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the lighter brown, and that's going to be the color of the turkey. So let's go ahead and color in the turkey. And I'm going to be careful not to get any of that brown into the eyes or into the hat or the beak or the wattle, okay? So here's where we have to pay attention to detail. And remember to use a light touch. We're going to add a second layer. And turn your pencil once in a while, okay? I'm being careful around that wattle. Any chance I can to use the word wattle, I'm going to use it. think it's a funny sounding word. Waddle, waddle, waddle. The way I color sometimes is I do the edges first. Gives me kind of a reference point, knowing that, okay, now I can color like this. I can color big areas because I've already got the edges done. All right, so why don't we go ahead and add a second layer of that nice brown color. I'm going to try hard not to get any into the eyes. Don't all these colors look really nice together? I think they look really, really nice together. All right, I'm just being very careful. I don't want to get any brown into the eyes or the beak or, guess what? The waddle. Waddle, waddle, waddle. How are you guys doing? How's your turkey looking? Are you remembering to turn your pencil? There we go. I'm just going to do a quick third layer just in areas where I think the page might be showing a little too much. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is, I think the top of the hat is also going to be this brown color, but I am going to have to sharpen because I want a bit of a finer point on it. Because there are a lot of areas in here that require a detail, you know? They're small and I want to make sure that I get around them really nicely. And when you have a fine tip, it's much easier to get around the small little areas. You know, like around these eyes. They're tiny little eyes. Usually I like the big eyes, but his hat is smaller, so I want to get around the eyes nicely. And around that beak and around the waddle. Without getting any brown in there. And I just find that when the tip is sharper, it's easier to get into those little spots. Okay? Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to give that a second layer of color. Color it in a second time, applying a second layer of brown. And again, being careful around all of that little detail that I've already colored in, okay? There we go. Looking good. Now I've got that reddish brown. I'm going to do the whole brim of the hat, that color. It's not, the tip went, it's not quite the same as that other brown. There's a little bit of a difference. It's a little bit of a redder shade, I guess, and it looks a little darker. So it just differentiates between the hat and the turkey. So I'm going to go ahead and do a second layer. Okay, that's looking good. I think I'm going to take my orange color, the dark orange, the same color that I did this and this, and I'm just going to do the band of the hat that color and inside. So let's be careful inside not to get any on the yellow, and I'll do a quick second layer right away and a second layer here too. It just makes it look a little different. All right, I think we're ready to add a little bit of detail. So I'm going to take, I have my Sharpie marker here, and I'm just going to fill in the eyes with black. There. I'm going to take my fine tip marker for the top one because the Sharpie is a little too thick for that area. This looks funny. There we go. I think he looks really, really silly. Silly turkey with a funny hat. Now, my friends, don't forget to sign your beautiful artwork. I want you to feel proud of what you created today. I hope you had fun drawing with me and enjoyed this cozy art time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Rain Francis Art for Kids. Bye for now.